This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
And good evening to you. I'm Mark Mullins. Amanda has the evening off. First at 11, it's a dry evening across central Indiana, as you can see from our tower camera in downtown Indianapolis. But you can see on radar, wet weather is headed our way. Kevin joins us now with the forecast.
It's dry and cold now. We're 32 degrees. We're headed into the upper 20s tonight. The wind not too bad north and east. Tomorrow, rain chances are high. We're dry for a couple days, Sunday and Monday. Back to a chance of rain early next week. Let's start with your weekend. Rain develops in the morning tomorrow. Notice these temperatures in the 30s, which gives us the opportunity, especially with the temperatures above ground level still cold, to mix in some snow during the day tomorrow. 7 a.m. showers developing. They expand by 10 a.m. By 1 o'clock, fairly widespread, and that's when we begin to see it. We'll still a little rain-snow mix. As far as the afternoon highs, they'll stay in the 30s. We'll talk about the change for Sunday and what happens Monday, Tuesday as well coming up.
It's just not a week-long thing. It's a lifelong thing for trans women like myself.
New tonight at 11, it's been a week dedicated to raising awareness about the challenges and misconceptions of being transgender. And as Transgender Awareness Week ends, we are zeroing in on the fear and threat many face year-round. According to the American Civil Liberties Union, transgender people are more often targets of violence because of who they are. The ACLU says last year was the most violent year on record for trans people, citing a rise in the number of murders. Tonight, RTV6's Cornelius Hawker is focusing on an Indianapolis organization fighting for the safety of transgender Hoosiers.
What I and other trans people, especially young trans people, are hoping is that they are accepted, that they don't have a bad experience where they're harassed or refused service based on who they are.
Kimberly Akoff knows she's one of the lucky ones. She lives openly as a black trans woman, something many like her can't do. But still, she knows all too well the struggles many transgender people face.
A life lived in fear, a life lived without dignity, a life lived trying to ensure that you see the next day.
The second week of November is Transgender Awareness Week. A day of remembrance is held during that week to remember the lives of trans people, mostly women of color, who have been killed because they're trans.
Trans people are losing their lives, or they're being harassed, or not getting the medical care that they need.
That's why Indiana Youth Group exists, to protect some of the most vulnerable young people in our community. To make those who come here feel safe, the doors are always locked and cameras are everywhere. While there were several people there for Transgender Remembrance Week, I wasn't allowed to record any of tonight's event. That right there highlights the long way to go when it comes to everyone being able to live openly without fear.
And that was Cornelius Hawker reporting. You can find information to Indiana Youth Group and other LGBTQ resources in this story on the RTV6 app. A deadly crash caused by an alleged drunk driver is raising a different safety concern. Earlier this week, we told you about the wreck that killed 18-year-old Isaac Oldham at Shelbyville Road and 5 Points Road. Police say the driver in that case had a blood alcohol concentration that was more than twice the legal limit. Now Mary Arnold, who has lived in the area for more than 4 decades, tells RTV6 there have been several bad crashes at that intersection over the years. It's a 4-way stop, but Mary says drivers often don't stop at all.
People aren't careful, and that this is not a well-marked intersection. People go too fast. We're in the country, so to speak, and they're not careful.
RTV6 took Mary's concerns to the city county councilor, Brian Mowry. He says that he is pushing the city to make safety improvements, including adding lights or reflective tape around the stop signs to make them more visible at night. An old school bus that looks more like a grocery store will host its first ever pickup event tomorrow. Instead of seats, the bus is lined with shelves stocked with food there. An organization called Faith, Hope, and Love came up with the idea to turn the bus into a mobile food pantry.
So now with this, we will be able to really serve the community, especially the elderly who might be living in a food desert area, or maybe in the middle of cornfield where grocery store might be 10 or 15 miles away, so now we can go there.
Founder Merlin Gonzalez wants to share the bus with other community groups. Tomorrow morning from 10 to 11:30, the bus will be in the parking lot of Greater Works Church on 62nd Street near Allisonville Road. New at 11, this is the scene right now in Morgan County that we're showing you. People are sleeping outside in boxes to raise money for a local shelter. The sleep out also raises awareness about the homeless problem in central Indiana and educates participants.
Around midnight, as we climb into our boxes and spend the next 7 hours there by ourselves, it starts to turn in your head how blessed we are to live, one, in America, but then to have what we have, jobs and homes to go back to.
Wellspring offers transitional housing and has an emergency shelter. If you need help, you can call this number. It's 765-342-6661. The Fishers police officer whose canine partner was killed in the line of duty has not returned to work yet, but he is speaking publicly for the first time.
You always think, all right, you know, when they retire, they're going to be at home with you and get to live the good life at home. And so you never really ever think beyond that point.
Officer Jared Koopman and Harley were partners for 4 years. Police say a suspect shot and killed the canine last week during a manhunt. Officer Koopman is certain that Harley saved lives that morning.
We would say pause before boots. And you say that and you don't ever really fully understand, I guess, what that truly means until it happens.
Officer Koopman plans to return to the K-9 unit eventually and get another partner in the future. Coming up here, IU Health is hiring Hoosiers. It's facing a shortage in a specific position where personality and personal connections are key.
Fired up here at Triton Central in a big two-way contest to decide who's heading to Lucas Oil Stadium next week. Busy night tonight. Friday Football Frenzy. Scores, highlights coming up in just a bit.
And working for you, when you ask for help, RTV6 answers the call and gets results.
Residents here at the Horizon apartment complex on the city's southwest side have a problem. There's raw sewage leaking under their townhomes.
It smells like like an outhouse or a porta potty.
Myers, Peace, and multiple neighbors say they reported the problems to the complex management a number of times over the month, but their concerns weren't being addressed.
By tomorrow, we should be able to come back in our apartment.
Honestly, if you guys didn't step in and do your due diligence, this never would have happened, honestly.
Phone lines have been down, no cable, no internet for dozens of homes near 23rd and Rule on the east side.
So now we're 11 days into it, and we received status yesterday that they're seeking permission to get access to a manhole. Had this been probably one of your more affluent neighborhoods financially, I think it would have been resolved quicker.
AT&T tells us it has restored service to the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood on the east side after residents went 11 days without phone, internet, or cable. Yesterday, RTV6's Stephanie Wade took neighbors' concerns directly to AT&T after they could not get any answers from the company. AT&T now says the damaged copper line caused the service disruption.
On the 2019 Armada. This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
They locked the windows, so we couldn't open up the windows, and so far we just can't leave until this $14,000 bill is paid.
An Atlanta couple is getting help after a dream vacation turned into a nightmare. Stephen Johnson was rushed to a hospital in Mexico after going into diabetic shock while on a Carnival cruise with his fiancée. After 3 days in intensive care, they received a bill for $14,000. They say the hospital demanded the money in cash and refused to let the couple leave.
We were physically assaulted by the administrative staff. They physically were pushing on him.
The bleeding, this is one of the areas that I was attacked.
Media mogul Tyler Perry reportedly saw the story on Good Morning America and stepped in, paying the full bill. However, the ABC affiliate in Atlanta is reporting that the hospital now doesn't believe Johnson is well enough to leave and wants him to stay for more treatment over the weekend. This case is a reminder that many health insurance plans don't cover expenses internationally. Experts recommend getting traveler's insurance before going abroad.
And a dry Friday night. We had sunshine today. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Rain tomorrow mixing with snow. Temperatures don't leave the 30s. A cold rain at times. 45 with some sunshine to end the weekend. Just looking ahead next week, prior to Thanksgiving, rain. May see a little rain-snow mix, but then drying out Wednesday. Thanksgiving 46, and then when it's time to go shopping on Friday, 45 with a 30% chance for a rain-snow mix. This is the system in the middle of next week. We'll be on the mild side of this for most of the storm system, but you'll see some snow from Wisconsin through Iowa back into Missouri. Be aware of that if you're traveling early next week. Low pressure will slide away, draw in the colder air, and may mix some snow showers in before it ends on Wednesday. For tomorrow, our rain chances climbing mid-morning and then peaking in the early afternoon. 70% chance you'll have rain, may mix with some snow. South Bend less likely to see rain tomorrow. 38 there. Bloomington, prepare, have a game plan to stay dry, especially early in the day before the game. There should be decent amount of rain. 7 to 10, there's the push of rain to the north. Then as we get to the afternoon, the upper ground level air temperatures continue to fall. So we mix in some snow. There we are, 4 to 7 snow showers, temperatures above freezing, not expecting much in the way of accumulation or sticking to any roadways. Sunday, we kind of snap out of it. Mixture of clouds and sun, 45 for the high temperature, a little below average for this time of year. But temperatures early next week will climb from there as the storm system approaches with some wind, rain, and potentially snow through the Midwest. That's what Tuesday looks like. Temperatures will warm into the 50s for us on Monday and Tuesday. That's Tuesday, rain and 54. Wednesday, a snow shower before ending, 45. We're dry on Thanksgiving and 46 degrees. We've got a lot to hear from Dave tonight. Dave?
From RTV6, this is Friday Football Frenzy.
Kevin, thanks. Small schools making big plays. It's starting us off tonight. Top-ranked Lutheran in their 4th straight 1A semi-state, hosting West Washington. Lutheran in the Dark Unis. And the Saints go into Marcus McFadden early and often. McFadden there, a short touchdown run in the first, and that got it going. Moments later, keeping it simple. No need to get fancy here. McFadden again for the score. Second quarter then. Same song, different verse. It's a dominating show. Lutheran advances 49-0, most lopsided win of their season. They play Lafayette Central Catholic a week from today for the 1A championship. Good evening. It's the semi-state round of Friday Football Frenzy. We're punching tickets to next weekend's state championship games. No fewer than 3 top-ranked teams hoping to do just that tonight, and quite a few underdogs hoping to do the same. That includes 6A semi-state at Center Grove. Back in week 5, no one would have pictured this. Brad Brown has more from Johnson County.
Ben Davis and Center Grove each started the season with 1-3 records, and in week 5, CG won the regular season matchup by 4 touchdowns. But tonight, the Giants came out with some swagger from the very start. An onside kick to start the game, recovered by kicker Zach Fox at midfield. And the very next play saw a long pass from Trent Gibson to Jalen Nolan. Just 12 seconds in, the visitors had a 7-0 lead. Center Grove would score the next 10 points on a touchdown pass by Taven Jackson, a 2-point run by Carson Steele, and a minute later a safety from a holding penalty in the end zone. Trojans up 10-7 after 1 quarter was the same score at halftime. CG got the only score of the third, a long drive capped by a touchdown run around the left end by Connor Delp. The extra point put the Trojans up 17-7. Ben Davis managed a field goal to get back within a touchdown, but the Center Grove defense continued to be the story of the night. Dane Young recovered a fumble with a couple minutes to go, and a final 4th down stop gave Center Grove the semi-state crown with a 17-7 win.
That was tough. You know what? This was 2 great football teams. Very physical. A lot of great pride out here. What a great character game, too. No problems in the game. Kids, both teams just fought their butts off. Both of us were very deserving of being here tonight, and we're very deserving to go to the state championship, man. I'm so proud of these guys.
It will be the 3rd trip to the 6A finals for Center Grove, their first since 2016.
More from Brad in a bit. So Center Grove headed to the finals. Get the winner of this one. 5th-ranked Carmel hosting 4th-ranked Maryville. Carmel in the Dark Unis. First quarter here, the pitch back to Dylan Downing. And watch Dylan go to work. A little stiff arm, couple cuts. Absolutely brilliant run here by the senior. 51-yard score. 7-0 Greyhounds. Now, to the second quarter. Watch the low snap right there. Ball actually hits the ground. Gabe Quigley picks it up, has the presence of mind to find the post route. Colton Parker, 33-yard score. Carmel up 14-3. Late third then. How about some defense? Well, here you go. Strip sack on the blitz. Ty Wise, scoop, and score. 57-yard touchdown. Tell you what, the Carmel coaching staff has done a tremendous job this season. Headed back to the state finals, third time in 4 years, 38-17 the final. Carmel and Center Grove next Saturday night. Well, from some heavyweights to perhaps the heavyweight. With all due respect, 4A #1 New Palestine might be the best team in the state tonight. They were one of the reigning state champs playing tonight, Western Boone the other, all a part of Dave's home video. Well, you need to stretch on a game like this or a night like this anyway. Semi-state Friday and a big one here at New Pal, a team that has won 26 in a row. The reigning 5A champs back at it again as they take on Bloomington South, and we'll keep a close eye on number 32. He better be stretching over 10,000 career rushing yards, 170 touchdowns, all, of course, state records, putting it to the test tonight to go back to the state championship game a week from tonight. Yeah, Charlie Spiegel's really good. If it comes down to Bloomington South, it's got to be Mo Moriarty. 34 seasons, 305 wins, one of the best. First quarter, New Pal in red, and this didn't take very long at all. That's Spiegel quickly through the line and gone. 57-yard touchdown, just like that. 7-0 Dragons. 7-0 before you can really spread out your blanket on the seats tonight. Spiegel then takes the pop at the 45, and how about another 57-yard touchdown? Before you can dig into the popcorn, it's 14-0 Dragons. Still in the first quarter, then. Watch Spiegel here. Get through the line, couple quick jumps, gone again, 24-yard score. He's going to have his choice of schools after all this is said and done. New Pal headed back to the state finals, 45-0 the final. Dragons now 13-0. They get Valpo in next Friday's finals. What an opportunity for Triton Central. There they go, playing their first ever semi-state game, trying to advance to their first ever state championship game in high school football. But look over there. Here comes Weibo, the defending 2A state champs. They're on a roll. They've won 11 in a row and 27 of their last 28 games. High drama tonight and a first for Triton, but playing a man down. Jackson Miller, a 2A player, both offensive and defensive line, one of the best players on the team and the state. He was injured last week in the regional, did not play. Western Boone, wide opening drive, toss sweep, Connor Hole picking up where he left off last week. The senior diving across the goal line, 10-yard touch. Stars take a 7-0 lead. Watch this one carefully. The toss to Hole, pitches to Connor Garrity, pitches back to the quarterback, Spencer Wright, fires it downfield, back to the wide open Connor Hole. 42-yard gain down to the 5-yard line. Very next play, right here. Give to the fullback, Robbie Taylor, 5-yard touch. Western Boone advances 35-13 as the Stars improve to 13-1, and they get Eastbrook next Saturday. Danville won just 4 games during the regular season, but the Warriors, man, they got hot at the right time. 4 tourney wins earned them a home game in tonight's 3A South Semi-State, hosting Heritage Hills in this one. That's right, Heritage Hills. Where's Jay Cutler and Ken Delger when you need him? Heritage Hills up 9-3. Danville and the Dark Uties. Cale Payne, the simple pass to the flat. Watch Noah Wells. Breaks the tackle, got a block, cut back, drags the defender, 30-yard score. Warriors up 10-9 at the half. Heritage Hills gets a field goal, and then this. Cole Sigler avoids a tackle for the loss, stays the play, keeps going, 9-yard touchdown. What a play. Heritage Hills advances 33-17. Back to Brad Brown, the other 3A semi-state. Chittard, Mishawaka Marion.
The 3A North Semi-State saw Chittard and Mishawaka play a scoreless first quarter, but the Trojans would blow it open in the second. Dalen Taylor slicing through the Marion D to open the scoring. Trojans up 7-0, and they would continue adding to it. A field goal made it 10. They would score on the ground again. This time it's Darian Gilbert finding the end zone. Chittard taking a 17-0 lead. Right before halftime, Kyle Cheek would score on a quarterback sneak, 24-0 at the break. By the time it was all done, 45-0 was the final as the Trojans rack up their state record 15th football semi-state championship. Brad Brown, Friday Football Frenzy.
Brad, nice job tonight. Final stop tonight. Historic Inlow Field in Evansville. 4A semi-state, Mount Vernon facing third-ranked Evansville Memorial. That's Brock Combs for Memorial. Tigers up 7-3. Third quarter, still only a 7-3 game. Alex Michael Steptoe takes a pop, gets it to Mason Alker for the score. Make it 14-3 Memorial. Now, Inlow Field, one of those older classic stadiums. We got steel beams in the way. It's a throwback. Colton Pence finds Josh Russell, and then We got fans down in front. 30-yard score. Memorial advances 28-3. Their third straight state title game. Mount Vernon season. Great season for Mike Kirshner and company. That ends at 11-3. So here it is. Next weekend's state finals schedule. Classes 1, 3, and 5. A week from today, Friday. Lutheran making there for the first time. Classes 2, 4, and 6 next Saturday. Webo and Eastbrook. That's a rematch of 2A. Carmel, Center Grove, a rematch of the 2016 title game. Congratulations to all the finalists tonight. The news at 11 continues after this.
Down, 0 deposit, 0 first month, and 0 due at signing.
Hiring Hoosiers is connecting people to positions and giving you the heads up about local companies hiring. New tonight, one of the largest medical service providers in central Indiana needs people who can be on the front line for anyone who stops into their clinics or hospitals to see a doctor. Peter Samboy's face is one of the first ones you'll see if you have a doctor's appointment here at this IU Health clinic.
Checking them in, checking them out, insurance information. We try to guide them as best as we can.
Peter has been a registration specialist for IU Health for 12 years, and when he started, he knew nothing about healthcare.
I was clueless. I didn't know anything about it.
Now, he's a pro.
Just be a people person. Be yourself. And just... you want to treat people like as you would want to be treated.
It's really that simple. IU Health has more than 1,000 registration specialists around the state, but the company needs about 60 more to work at clinics and hospitals across central Indiana. Registration specialists check in patients arriving for checkups, verify insurance information, collect payment, man the phones.
Oh, the direct schedule? Yeah. Let's just double check.
And they do it with a pleasant demeanor.
We want people who are friendly, warm, caring, good customer skills. We require a high school diploma. For everything else, we can skill you up.
IU Health wants applicants willing to learn about medical coding and insurance, but more importantly, they should be good at making connections.
So they have a very important role in what we call patient experience. They greet the patient. Sometimes the patient's nervous or scared when they come to the doctor.
Peter is a natural, and since he's part of a team whose aim is to be warm and welcoming, when he's here, he's family.
A family environment. When I leave my home, I leave my family, and I come to my second family.
Again, IU Health is looking to hire roughly 60 registration specialists. The pay range is between $13 and $19 an hour. The medical company provides benefits and tuition reimbursement for those looking to advance. If you want to apply or learn more about the perks IU Health offers, click on the link in this story at our website, hiringhoosiers.com.
00. We look forward to serving you at Barrington Jewels.
If you're in the holiday spirit, two popular attractions open for the season tomorrow. This marks the first time ever that the Indianapolis Zoo's holiday tradition starts before Thanksgiving. Christmas at the Zoo activities go from 5 to 10 tomorrow. You can visit Santa's study, go through the Tunnel of Lights, and get a close-up view of penguins in the Penguin Encounter. Christmas at the Zoo goes through December 30th, by the way. And Winter Lights at Newfields is open tomorrow through January 5th. This is the third year for this attraction. There are more than 1.5 million lights on display.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
You're sure right.
Rain chances increase tomorrow, mixing with snow at times in the afternoon. That is your Saturday combo.
Wow. All right. So you don't want to be walking through anywhere.
We worked all week long, and we got to
rain and snow mix.
All right.
Have a good weekend regardless.
Enjoy it.